Hello guys, welcome to Ride VIP, the rideshare channel. My name is Serge, and in today's video I would like to answer one question from one of my viewers. This is a very long time viewer of my other channel, which does have a lot of expediting content on it. And as I was stating previously, that I was expediting for 14 years and then I stopped expediting, and this fan is asking me, why did I stop expediting? So the answer is simple. First of all, I really enjoyed expediting, but expediting started paying me very low, which started out to be at $1.60 a mile. At the time when I quit, it was 80 cents a mile, and they were starting to ask me to take some freight for 65 cents, and I just simply said no. And they said, I'm going to have to sit around, things like that. I understand things have improved somewhat since then, and then there was a decline when it comes to freight prices and stuff like that. So anyways, my main reason was like not even the price. Like if it was just the price, okay, I would have figured out, like another company to work with or open up my own MCDOT, which I was talking about. But here's the thing. When it comes to expediting, there's several factors you need to look at. One of them is if you are married and you have kids, that is very difficult on your family, and your wife and kids not seeing you. Not only that it's difficult for them, it is difficult for you as well. Now, I have tolerated this for long enough, and my wife has too. She was very supportive of me expediting because we had one goal in mind, and the goal was to buy a home for cash, and we have achieved that goal in 2015. After that, I continued working expedite because we needed to fix up the place, which has taken about 3.5 years. So I was doing that, recording more videos, posting to that other channel. And then I sort of like phased out of it. And for a while, I just started doing other things. One of them was doing Mercedes Sprinter van service. I've done that for a lot of my clients. I made some really good money. People have driven all across the country in order to have me take a look at their vans and perform some services. But with all that being said, I was a little bit embarrassed that I had to be pretty much kind of like a yard mechanic. I do have a garage, but it's not big enough for Sprinter vans. And this is why I'm on the hunt right now in order to buy myself a shop. And I'm working very hard to put the money aside in order to make that dream come true. And I can imagine that this will actually come true again because I'm an optimist. Anything that I set my mind to, I will achieve. There is no stopping me. As long as I have a goal in mind, I will work super hard for that goal. Now, because I do have a wife and kids, we do have a family. There's 3 kids now that we have. Initially, when I was starting out expedite, I didn't have any kids. For the 5 years when I was expediting, I didn't have any kids. And then slowly but surely, we started having kids. I am basically glad that I don't have to expedite. I'm basically just driving for Uber. I noticed that Uber pretty much pays very similar when it comes to expediting, and the costs of doing business is approximately the same. So this is perfect, and it gets me home every night. So this is like working out. One of the things I really like about rideshare, I could treat this just like I did expediting, and I could put my time in. But the problem was with rideshare, there was a lot of slow times. Like, for instance, you might be busy for like 3-4 days, and then you're going to be sitting for 3-4 days. Like, you don't have nothing available. There's nothing you could do to keep on moving. But over here in rideshare, you could just keep it moving. You could just keep it going, just like nonstop. Like, if I really wanted to, I could really hit it hard. You guys haven't even seen like me hit it like really hard, because I can and make some money at it. So, and I'm making plans to do so. One of the ways to do that is basically just work nonstop, make a plan, and just simply just go to town and work for 35 hours straight, 36 hours straight. Believe me, I've done it before. Those was my favorite type of trips. And expediting, you have no choice. You have to drive for the next 35, 36 hours if that's the type of freight that you got. And maybe that same day, maybe you got up, I don't know, if you're an early bird, maybe you got up like at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, right? I'm not an early bird, so I probably slept in, got up like at like 10 or 11, right? So you will not have nothing that day, like nothing available. Then by like 7, 8 p.m., now the company contacts you like, hey, we got this freight. It's picking up in Michigan. You got to deliver it to Laredo, Texas, or Nogales, Arizona. That's a long haul, and they know you want one of those. And it's like, well, we can't get you 80 cents now, like, but we could do 75. And then you go like, okay, fine, because you could make the money like just by driving. It's all per mile, and before you know it, like, you could still make some money. But they always beat you down on the price. You could always say no, but there's another hungry expediting guy that's waiting to take that load off your hands, and he's gonna take it. So they know they could convince you to take it at 75, which I hate, because really you have like no control over it unless you are your own boss and you're loading yourself, which many have done that. Like, but when I say many, it's more like some. Because most expediters, they're not willing to put in the extra work and start bidding for the loads themselves and making all the money. For me, I was considering to do that. What has taken me in a different direction is that I figured I am still not solving the problem of me being away from my family. Now, I could have, and I considered just opening up my own expediting company or trucking company so that I could just sit home and load everybody and make money that way. But then I become just like everybody else, just like the ones that are giving freight and stuff like that. And then ultimately, I'm going to be in the same shoes as everybody else, all of these other trucking companies, probably asking drivers to drive for less because the brokers don't want to pay nothing. See, the brokers is the real criminals when it comes to expedited truckers. They steal all the money for themselves. So this is why you're hearing the news like, oh, the products are going up in price. Food prices are rising because of the diesel costs, and it's costing truckers more money to deliver that food. But guess what? My dad's a truck driver. He's been a truck driver since I could remember. Like, let's see, 1997. He's been driving a truck since then. I drove even a truck a little bit with him. I tried it part-time. But with that being said, truckers are not seeing that money. They're not seeing that pay increase. So, but they have to deal with the higher cost of maintenance now, the high cost of fuel prices for the diesel. And now the trucks cost so much more. So, like, everything's going up on them, but yet they're not being compensated for that. And it's just same thing all over the place. And the only way to win is basically, like they said, if you can't beat them, join them. Is become an expediting company yourself. That's the only way. But I considered doing that, but then I said, that is not my dream. Like, yes, that's going to make lots of money, but the thing is, you have to be honest with yourself. And if this is not something that's going to make you happy, then don't do it. I'm not trying to just work so I could make lots of money. Part of the reason that I try to make money, I mean, first of all, I love money. I'm not afraid to say it, but I'm trying to basically get to the next step in my life where I'm going to enjoy it a little bit more. And how am I going to enjoy my life a little bit more? It's not going to be sitting behind a computer, I'll tell you that much, and bidding for loads. And yes, you could say you could hire, people to do that for you, the dispatchers, and they're going to be doing that. But ultimately, you're still going to have to deal with that. You're going to be still in the office somewhere dealing with paperwork. And to me, that doesn't seem like a good way to live. I still enjoy driving. I still enjoy going out and about. I mean, expediting is something I really enjoy, just driving. I come out of the family of drivers. Like, my grandpa was a truck driver as well. He enjoyed it. Like, we all just enjoy it, like driving. This is just kind of like in our blood. What I enjoyed the most is having the freedom to do anything that I want to do. Like, if I want to just sit back, relax, and just choose not to work that day, I have that choice to do that. If I want to choose to work like really hard, I have a choice to do that. But when it comes to business and making money, like what is going to be the thing that makes me happy? See, for everyone is, it's something else, something different. So for me, it would be having my own shop and doing, some mechanical work, performing some body work, painting some cars, doing some car service, that type of thing, flipping cars. This is the kind of thing that would make me happy, selling car parts. So I'm already doing some of that right now, but I'm basically trying to step it up a notch. And right now, the next, well, February is about over. So the rest of February and March, I'm gonna be hustling like big time. I might even roll April into it just because like April is still gonna be like one of those months. I might even decide to hustle just a little bit more just till the kids get out from school, because I'm trying to put as much money together as possible while I'll be still in the process of looking for something. I'm going to be looking for a commercial zone property. I'm going to be trying to keep my options open because I want to be able to buy some kind of shop. That way I could actually perform all the things I need to perform and be able to finance it because I could easily pay for it. That's going to be the only thing that I finance, but I want to make sure I prepare myself for that. And why am I going to wait till kids are going to be a little bit out of school? Because, they could help me with the shop and things like that because they are interested in that kind of stuff, especially my oldest son. So why am I not expediting? Well, there you go. There's your list of answers right there. And if given a choice between expediting and driving for Uber and Lyft, I'll choose Uber and Lyft every time because, first of all, you don't have to have a diesel vehicle. You could just drive your own personal vehicle, which is going to be a lot nicer than having like one of those big vans. They're still more fuel efficient. They don't require the same level of service. You are able to just simply get the vehicle towed home if you have a major breakdown, unlike you being broken down in the middle of the country where you are at the mercy of the shop that's going to be, nearest you. And there's a good chance they're going to rip you off. And there's a good chance they don't even know what the heck they're doing. And trying to find a sprinter specialist in like, it's hard enough already, but trying to find one randomly where you break down, that's going to be like pretty hard. And then everybody knows you're at their mercy because you're not from their state, so they will try to charge you as much money as possible so that they know you're going to pay it anyways, so even if you have to get into credit card debt. So trying to use a regular car that like I just paid $2,500 for, this BMW, this is working out just perfect with me. This is something else I want to throw out there. I also do another thing that you guys don't know that I'm doing. There is another business that I'm doing. I'm flying all over the world, and well, that just covers it, all over the world. I've been doing it before COVID got started, and I actually get paid for it. And the pay is similar to what I'm making right now in Uber, and I get to stay at very nice hotels, and basically they pay for everything, all of my expenses, and I get to basically enjoy like sort of like a vacation by traveling. And I'm back home like every like 2-3 days, which is also kind of nice. Like I leave one day and then boom, I'm back. And for me, that's also like something very fun that I'm doing because I get to keep all my points. I have very high flying status, and a lot of times I'm flying first class. And sometimes the pay is actually much greater. I'm just like saying like minimum, I'm making what I'm making with Uber and Lyft. But recently, I kind of like put a little stop to that because I'm focusing on just doing all the stuff that I'm working on right now. So I want to make sure that I do not get off my focus, if that's the correct way to say it. Well, I'm trying not to lose my focus is what I'm trying to say. And consistency is key, and I'm able to be very consistent with just driving Uber and Lyft. And I could actually have the ability to just simply use up all the 12 hours on Uber, log into Lyft, use that up, and just keep on going like that. Like I could easily do that. I've done it a little bit. I haven't done it too much. It takes a great skill to try to be able to do that. But since I've been an expedite, I've basically learned that skill because you sort of have to, because doing hot shots, they sort of push you like, like all the time, go, 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 you can't stop and sleep. This is not like trucking. When you're doing like expediting in a van, you're under 10,000 pounds, which means you are not DOT regulated. There's no logbooks. They could run the hell out of you if they want to. If you say yes, and most likely you're going to say yes because there's going to be slow periods where you're not going to have anything. So you have to continuously keep driving whatever they give you. And sometimes you feel like you're about to die, like literally. And some have. Some drivers have died just like being unloaded. Like they died behind the steering wheel of their vehicle because they pushed themselves way too hard. So one of the ways to really do this is get off caffeine. That might sound like very counterintuitive, and right now I'm on it big time. And in order for me to really achieve that, like one of the ways you gotta do it is like this: as soon as you wake up, do not drink any caffeine. And as a matter of fact, if you will drink any caffeine, try to do it like after at least 2 hours after you ate something, and 2 hours passes. There's a scientific explanation for that, why that works, but I'm not gonna get into it. Just take my word for it. Don't drink nothing for 2 hours. After that, you will drink some caffeine. You're not going to experience no crash. But that is for like a normal type of day, okay? When you're talking about something that's completely not normal, like staying up for a very long time, well, it takes a toll on your body, obviously. But we're not going to get into that. Like if somebody's a hustler, which I am, this is the approach. You get up and you get started right away. You do not waste any time whatsoever. You start working immediately. And you just keep working, 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 working. Do not even eat that much food. Just eat like a little bit. Like drink bunch of water. Do not drink any kind of caffeine or energy drink, and just keep on going like that as much as you can. Just drink water instead of caffeine. Just water, 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 water. Until, and let's pretend you started doing this early in the morning. Like usually the best time to do it is like right at light up in the morning, just barely like light is going up. Okay, start right then, because your eyes, they basically adjust themselves to the light, so your body gets, trains itself to wake up when there's light. So that's the optimal time to start. So let's say you drove all day and now you're into the night and you still want to continue driving. Well, by 3, 4 a.m., your body starts wanting to go to sleep. Like anyways, it's already really, really hard to stay up. Before you get to that portion and you'll feel it, you're like, okay, I feel like in about an hour, like my body's giving up. Then hit your caffeine, or like an energy drink or something. But I prefer the energy drink instead of even coffee, because you could buy energy drinks without no sugar, and that will also keep you staying up longer. So you take like an energy drink without sugar. I prefer Rain. But recently I've been switching them up a little bit because I love the taste of Red Bull. But I've been getting the ones also without like no sugar, and they seem to be working out just fine. But I love it for the taste. But Rain, if you just like drink like one of them, you could go for like 6, 8 hours, like easy. And you just basically just keep on going as long as you can on that one energy drink, and then have like another one if you feel like already like you're tired, like if you're trying to keep going. And then once you get into the night again, at that time, like I go through all the day and everything, and then next time you in the night, as soon as it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, like next to 5, if you start feeling tired, only then get some rest instead of drinking like an energy drink. And then just get a full rest and do the same thing all over again. But you might only be able to do that like 3 times a week. That's like really pushing it. After 3 times a week, you might start hallucinating. Believe me, I've done it. I know exactly what that feels like. Even with energy drink, you're going to start hallucinating. And when I say hallucinating, I'm not saying you're going to start seeing creatures. Like, you might see something in the road that jumps out at you, and it's like really not even there. Like, I'm talking about like concrete. Like a concrete barriers, like anything has to do with like road construction or anything. You might see that. And also, when you really keep pushing yourself, especially at night, like on the third, I'm talking about like third time you do it, which might be already like 5th or 6th day. if at night, if you're driving and the car taillights are on, at least for me, and I haven't done it for like in a while now, but like sort of like the lights, they start turning into like faces, like your mind is just like, because it's just ready to sleep, it just plays with, like tricks with you and stuff, like, I don't know, it sounds weird, but when you're looking at stuff like that, it's like your mind tries to make sense out of something that does not need to be made sense out of. But anyways, this is probably a pretty long video. I don't even know how long this is. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully this explained it. I could have said it probably in a few words, but once again, I said too much. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.